Hey guys, it's Rob back with another movie review today. Now this movie that I'm going to review is probably one you've never heard of. I almost guarantee you've never heard of this film. It's called Shot. Now, this movie has two meanings to it. One of the meanings is photography, shots, and the other meaning is bullets from a gunshot. It has two meanings to it, but it's very, very well done. It's kind of one of those independent films, low budget films, but it's kind of one of those intimidating films because the gang violence in here is so realistic to me. I'm actually friends with a couple of these guys on Facebook that played a couple of the gang members on here. I think Trent Cameron, yeah. But it's very, very well done film. Basically what it's about is there's this kid named Robert, and he's a photographer. He used to have this partner where they used to go out and photograph stuff, and his partner got killed. And so he's been going at it alone. He works at a camera shop. He wants to be a professional photographer, but he's never went that far to make his dream come true, pretty much. He's just been like going out making portfolios, going out and photographing stuff, and then making like a portfolio. He's got a girlfriend that she's pretty successful at what she does. So he's kind of in a down situation, pretty much. So what happens is one day he goes to the ghetto and with his camera, and he starts filming, he starts taking pictures of stuff, and he meets this little black kid in the ghetto. And this kid, he is so impressed by this kid, like, because this kid has a really good eye on him. Like he sees things through a lens like this guy would. The main kid that I'm talking about, the photographer's name is Robert. My name. But he meets this black kid, and this black kid is kind of like him. Like he looks through tubes and stuff. He sees things through his eyes. Whatever you see through his eyes is not what we would see. Like photographers see things differently. They do. I mean, I was in photography a little bit. They see like lighting and shading and different things different to take pictures of, angles and all that stuff. So he starts to take pictures with this kid, and this kid, he likes working with him. I mean, he's this little kid. So he introduces himself to his mother, to this kid's mom, and they start to become friends. This Robert and this little black kid. They go out and take pictures and stuff, and this little black kid has a brother named Keith, and Keith is in the gang. Now see these guys right here on the cover. Now that's him shooting the gun. Keith, that's him. That's the little black kid's brother, and he's in a gang with these hoodlums. So Robert, the photographer, starts to talk, to Keith a little bit, and Keith's like, well, I bet you wouldn't come down here to the ghetto if you went out with me and my homies one day. You'd be scared. You wouldn't want to come back. And Robert's like, I really doubt that. It might be interesting to go out with you guys for a day. And so Keith gets these guys, his gang together, and introduce them to Robert, and Robert is like so intimidated. These guys are like, where the fuck you from, motherfucker? Like, that's how they talk. And like they each have guns, and you have this white guy with a camera. I mean, the nerdiest guy you could ever see with a camera, and he goes riding along with these gang members down into the ghetto and stuff, and they go to like a crack alley and stuff, and he takes pictures. And these guys are just they did such a good job with the gang. I mean, it made you think that these guys were real gang members. I mean, there's a shot of them on the back there shooting a gun. There's a shot of him in the car, and Robert's in the car, and they give him an ultimatum. To Robert, they say, listen, you can row with us under one condition. You don't take no flicks of my crew, and no flicks that are gonna get your ass killed. Do you understand? Well, let's row it in. So he gives him an ultimatum, basically saying you can't take pictures of my crew and stuff. You can roll with us. So what ends up happening, Robert gets close to these gang members. He gets really close. He starts to trust them. A drug bust happened where Robert's sitting in the car with them. They kill police. These gangs kill police, and they kill other drug people, and they steal the money. Robert gets scared. He starts taking pictures of what's going on, but he's not thinking about what he's doing. That's not a good thing. He's not supposed to take pictures of the crew. He's not supposed to take pictures of that stuff, but he ends up doing it. He gets scared, and he starts running. Well, the gang members, these guys start being like, where did he go? Like, what, he ran away? They're like, oh man, he's gonna turn us in. He took pictures of us. So then they start thinking like, Robert's gonna take these pictures, he's gonna develop it, and he's gonna turn them into the cops, and that's gonna be proof to get these guys to go to jail. And so these guys are after Robert now. And Keith becomes friends with Robert because of his little brothers into photography. So they're close. So now he's thinking like, no, you don't have to go after him. And then there's a huge scuffle within the gang. And the gang just goes after him. The end scene, they take Robert down to this this bridge area. And they put him at gunpoint. And they're like, motherfucker, you were going to turn us in. They're like, and he's like, no, why can't you guys just trust me? You guys let me ride with you and everything. Like, I'm not going to turn you in. They're like, bullshit. You can't leave loose ends like that, motherfucker. When I make a mess, I clean it up. And so they try to get the camera and take all the pictures out and stuff, and there's this huge scuffle. And I don't want to give away what happens at the end, but it's a very, very emotional movie. And I mean, you feel sorry for what happens. Like, people get shot. In some parts it's sad. I really like the music. It's got a very simple score, like when the gang members show up and something bad happens, it's like this. It's almost like Gravity. When stuff started happening, it had that music, that tone. It's almost like that. But I really enjoyed this film. I think it was very, very well done. Just give it a chance. If you've liked movies like the movie Kids by Larry Clark, that movie is very controversial, and it's very, very realistic, and I would say that movie, you know, there's sexuality, there's nudity, there's drugs, there's cussing, there's everything. It's just really realistic when you take that kind of road for it. This movie is almost the same thing. These kind of movies are kind of hard to watch for some people. But this one was really, really well done. I have to say, for a low-budget independent film, it was really well done. Lionsgate, I think Lionsgate Home Entertainment. Yeah. This is really good. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. If you guys want to check this out, have you seen the movie Shot? I'm thinking that you haven't. It's just one of those movies that sits on the shelf and you bypass it all the time and you don't ever think to watch it. I'm glad I did, though. And I recommend this to anybody who hasn't seen it. I recommend a couple films to my friend Thomas, HorrorFan34. I recommended the movie Stranded, which was one of my favorite low-budget films. This is another one I recommend. Check this one out. Shot. Hope you enjoyed this review of that movie. Like I said, not everybody has probably even heard of that film, but give it a shot. Check out Shot. Give it a shot. Yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's very, very well done. So, anyway, thank you for watching this review. More to come, and I will check you guys next time.